route filtering. My name is Kedar Dandekar and I am a Cisco certified internet network expert in enterprise infrastructure. So if you have any question, then please feel free to mail me on kedargandekar@nittraining.in. So today we have to configure the EIGRP route filtering. So the first task is that we have to configure the EIGRP classic mode between router 1, router 2, router 3, router 4, router 7 and router 8. After that we have to configure the EIGRP name mode between router 2, router 5 and router 6. So first we will configure the EIGRP classic mode. So let's start with router 1. So on router 1 we have to advertise the network 10.0.0.0 and network 200.100.2.0.0. Now router 2. So on router 2 we have to advertise the network 10.0.0.0 and after that the network 200.100.0.0 and network 200.100.1.0 and 2.0. Now router 3. So on router 3 we have to advertise the network 200.100.1.0 and 5.0. Now router 4. So on router 4 we have to advertise the network 200.100.2.0 and 6.0. Now router number 7. Router EIGRP 10 network 200.100.5.0 and 7.0 and the network LAN 4 network 194.168.0.0. So we have done with router 7. Now router number 8. On router 8 we have to advertise the network 200.100.6.0, 7.0 and network LAN 5 network 195.168.0.0. So we have configured the EIGRP classic mode. Now we have to configure the EIGRP name mode between router 2, router 5 and router 6. So let's start with router 2. So router EIGRP NAIT advertised family IPv4 unicast autonomous system 20. So on router 2 we have to advertise the network 3.0 and 4.0. So network 200.100.3.0 and 4.0. Now after that router number 5. Now router EIGRP NAIT address family IPv4 unicast autonomous system 20. Now on router 5 we have to advertise network 200.100.3.0 and the LANs network are 196.168.0.0 and 197.168.0.0. So the network 196.168.0.0 and 197.168.0.0. Now router number 6. So on router 6 we have to advertise the network 200.100.4.0 and the LAN network is 172.16.1.0. Okay. So we have done the EIGRP classic mode configuration and EIGRP name mode configuration. Now our next task is to configure the route filtering on router 2 so that when he wants to reach LAN 4 network which is 194.168.0.0 then he should send the traffic only via router 4 but he should never send the traffic through router 3. So the task is saying that when router 2 wants to reach this LAN 4 network 194.168.0.0 then the traffic should go via router 4 only. The traffic should never go via router 3. So for that we have to configure the route filtering. So let's verify the routing table of router 2 first. So if we verify show IP route EIGRP, so here we can see that if router 2 wants to reach LAN 4 network 194.168.0.0 then he is sending the traffic via router 3 to 100.100.1.2 but the task is saying that the traffic should go via router 4. Okay, so for that now we have to configure the access list. So access list 100 deny IP host 200.100.1.2, and now the LAN 4 network, which is 194.168.0.0 and 0.0.0.255 wildcard mask. Now access dash list 100 permit IP any n. Now router EIGRP 10 distribute dash list 100 inbound, and we have to apply it on interface E0/1. The interface connected to router 3. Now let's clear the EIGRP neighbors. Okay. Now if we check the routing table again, now here we can see that now if router 2 wants to reach LAN 4 network 194.168.0.0, then now he is sending the traffic via 200.100.2.2. That means now he is sending the traffic via router 4. So 200.100.2.2 is the IP address of router 4. Okay. Now if we check, if we try to ping from now, let's say from this PC2 to the LAN 4 PC 194.168.0.1. Okay, so let's ping it first. So ping 194.168.0.1. So we are getting the reachability. Now we will trace the path. So 194.168.0.1. So now we can see that the traffic is going from router 4, which is 200.100.2.2. Okay. Now next we have to configure the router 2 so that when he wants to reach LAN 5 network, so the LAN 5 network is 195.168.0.0. So when he wants to reach this LAN 5 network, then he will send the traffic through router 3. So he must send the traffic through router 3, and when router 3 is down, then he should send the traffic via router 4. So the task is saying that when this router 2 wants to reach this LAN 5 network, then the first the traffic should go via router 3, and if this router 3 is down, then the traffic should go via router 4. Okay, so if we verify the routing table on router 2, so now here on router 2 we can see that if router 2 wants to reach LAN 5 network 195.168.0.0, then currently he is sending the traffic via router 4 to 100.100.2.2, but the task is saying that router 2 should send the traffic via router 3 first. Okay, so for that now we will change the AD value on router 2 now. So the path that is connected to router 3, we will change the AD value of that path now. So first we will create the access list 1, and we will permit the network of LAN 5 195.168.0.0 and wildcard mask, and now router EIGRP 10. So now here we will change the distance AD value to 80. So we will decrease the AD value. Okay, and now after that 200.100.1.2. so IP address of router 3 and 0.0.0.0, and we will apply the access list here. Okay, now we will clear the EIGRP neighbors. So we are changing the AD value here. Okay, so let's verify it again. So let's check the routing table of router 2 now. Now if router 2 wants to reach the LAN 5 network 195.168.0.0, now he is selecting the path via router 3 to 100.100.1.2, which is the IP address of router 3. Now router 2 will send the traffic via router 3 for LAN 5 network. So let's test it now. So from PC2, now we will ping the IP address 195.168.0.1. So we are getting the reachability. Now we will trace it. So now we can see that the traffic is going from 200.100.1.2, the IP address of router 3. Okay. Now if router 3 goes down, then the traffic should go via router 4. So let's shut down the interface of router 3 now. Shut down. Okay. So after shutting it down, now let's wait for a minute. So it will take some time. Okay. Now, oh sorry. Okay. Now if we check again on router 2, show IP route EIGRP. Now here we can see that now if router 2 wants to reach 195.168.0.0, then now he is selecting the path via router 4 to 100.100.2.2 is the IP address of router 4. So if router 3 is going down, then after that router 2 is sending the traffic via router 4. That means 200.100.2.2. So let's try to trace it again now. Now if we trace the path, so the traffic is going from 200.100.2.2. 2. Okay, so let's enable the interface again. So we will do it no shutdown of router 3. Okay, so the neighborship is up again. Now after that we have to configure the router 1 so that it can filter the LAN 4 and LAN 5 network. Okay. But now when we are configuring the route filtering on router 1, then we are not allowed to configure the access list, prefix list and route map. So the task is saying that this router 1 has to filter the LAN 4 and LAN 5 network. But for that we are not allowed to configure the access list and prefix list. So for that now we will give the command on router 1, router EIGRP 10 and metric maximum dash hope 2. So we will give the maximum hope 2. So after giving this command, now router 1 will only accept the network that are 2 hops away. Now if we see from the router 1's point of view, the LAN 4 and LAN 5 network are 3 hops away. So this is the first hop, second hop and third hop. So LAN 4 and LAN 5 networks are 3 hops away. Also the network 200 or 100.7.0. So this network is also 3 hops away. So the total 3 networks. So this network 200 or 100.7.0, LAN 5 network and LAN 4 network and LAN 5 network. So all these 3 networks are 3 hops away. That's why router 1 will not insert this network in his routing table. And rest all the networks. So let's say 200 or 100.1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, 5.0, 6.0. Also the network of LAN 6, LAN 7, LAN 8, LAN 2 and LAN 3. So all these networks are 2 hops away. That's why router 1 will insert this network in his routing table. So if we check the routing table of router 1 now, so here we can see that now router 1 is inserting the network 10.11, 10.12 which is LAN 2 and LAN 3 network, 172.16 which is LAN 8 network, and now 176, 197 which is LAN 6 and LAN 7 network, and rest all the network 200 or 100 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4, 5 and 6.0, and he is not inserting the 7.0 also because it is 3 hops away. Okay, so this is the third task. Now after that we have to configure the router 5 so that he should only insert the LAN 2 and LAN 3 networks in his routing table, and he has to filter all the remaining networks. So this is our router 5. So this router 5 has to insert only LAN 2 and LAN 3 network, and remaining he has to filter. Okay, so let's configure it on router 5 now. So router 5. So here we will create the prefix list, IP prefix dash list, let's say NIT, and permit 10.0.0.0, and the subnet mask will be greater than or equal to 17 and less than or equal to 18. Okay, and now router EIGRP NIT and address dash family IPv4 unicast autonomous system 20 topology base, and now distribute dash list prefix NIT in. So we will clear the EIGRP neighbors. Now if we check the routing table on router 5, so now on router 5 we can see that now he is only inserting the network of LAN 2 and LAN 3. 10.11 is the network of LAN 2 and 10.12 is the network of LAN 3. So he is only inserting the network of LAN 2 and LAN 3, and rest all the networks he is filtering. So thanks for watching the video. If you have any question, then please feel free to mail me on kedardanekar@nittraining.in. Thank you.